Alright, the next quest on our ranged magic damage dealer series with Cerigg as our leader is Echoes of the Past. We are still Echoes of the Past. I want to make it sure I said it slower, just so I tend to talk too fast sometimes. But it's given to us by Cerigg in Mordzuk in Amarang. Here we go. Ah, there you are. You'll be happy to know that the boy is awake and seems to be no worse for the wear, physically speaking, at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from, or just how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. In fact, other than his own name, Taynor, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you, eats my half-arsed cooking and with a smile and nary a word of complaint, yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. I suggested that he go for a stroll around Mordzuk in the hopes that the sights might help to jog his memories. He can't have wandered far. Why don't you go check up on him? Sending Mom in, huh? Alright. Young lad, are you eating all your fizzles? Is that a thing that you can eat? I don't know. Here we go. Hey, Taynor. Cutscene. Do not tell me. You're the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. You nod. Well, I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The carer who examined him said that they could feel great power welling up from within him. Despite his young age, Taynor here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magical arts. He looks down a bit. Perhaps I do, and yet I cannot say. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of who I am or where I came from. Only the darkness. No need for apologies, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? He nods. That I remember, or at least I think I do. I recall a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. If the hollows truly are a gate between worlds, that would mean that someone recently traveled from ours to another, or from another to ours. But that's not possible. Or is it? You'd be surprised. Don't be so ridiculous was the other option. You know something I don't, friend. Worry not, I won't pry for details. Well, no sense racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely, finding the boy here at home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You truly do that? For me? But the two of you already saved my life. The two of you have already saved my life. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. It's no burden at all. Besides, if we can figure out just who you are and where you came from, it just might lead us to the answers we seek. Now let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in this world, with not a soul to care for or look after you. And yet, this seems unlikely. Yes, the mystical powers you possess say otherwise. If you're truly as skilled in magic as they say, then it stands to reason that someone's trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are of their blood, or simply receive their tutelage, this I cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you. Hey, puppy. If that truly is so, I would very much like to meet this person too. Let's do it. That settles it then. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, I took the liberty of inquiring around Mordzuk and the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there have been no reports of missing persons matching Taynor's description, which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town whose travels often take him far afield. Let us have a talk with him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Nods all around. And cutscene. And scene. Jazz Wolf. Sappy merchant, talking to the two already. Rumors of a missing boy, you say? Funny that you ask. It's a long shot, I reckon. But I overheard something the other day that might be of use, says the merchant, already the first person we talked to. On my way to Mordsuk, I stopped over at the inn at Journey's Head. There, I met an ailing mage. As the carers told it, he'd been ambushed by a sin-eater and was separated from his child in the battle. Bloody hells, could it be? If the sin-eater that attacked the poor man was Phronesis, that would explain everything. This man you speak of, he could be my father? We must go to him at once. Agreed. I only hope that the man is... No, there's no point in presuming the worst. Let's make for the inn and see what the carers there can tell us. Thank you, savvy merchant. Nobody thanked you. Let me just thank you. No, that doesn't exist. Never mind, bye. Never mind, bye. Thank you, bye. There's no thank. Like... Thank? How about thanks? Nope. How about... Thank you. Nope. How about... Gratitude. Nope. Cool. Fuck me, I guess. Even if it's just like a little bow, you know, like a thank you. Concerned carer is here, talking to another boy. Cutscene. It's a youngish lady, probably like early 20s at most, late teens. Kind of long purple hair. Oh there, I hear there's a mage in your cave who's lost his boy. Well, I do believe we have him right here. I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him, right here. The boy she was talking to. And... it was very silent. What? So it wasn't my father after all? This boy with you, he too has been separated from his family? Just so. We heard that a man here was looking for his son, and we just hoped. Alas, it seems it wasn't meant to be. His eyes are very purple. But there are many other people here, yes? Might I ask around and see if any of the others are my family? She looks in thought for a second. Like, why not? Yeah. But of course. Yet many of the people here are quite ill, and in many cases, in considerable pain. It is not a place for a young child to walk around unattended. We'll be there, dude. Indeed it's not. Guess that means either myself or Mercy here should accompany him. I'll go with him, says the other boy. The walk might help me, or take my mind off things. Not a bad idea, if the lad doesn't mind. I reckon Taynor would rather be with someone of his own age. The dark purple-haired boy gives him a shrug. Taynor nods. Taynor is a ginger, if that matters. An Elzen ginger. Take his mind off things. Speaking of which, how's the boy's father holding up? I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. Yep. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though part of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such horrors. She looks down, shakes her head, eyes closed. Back up. It was some small solace to learn that he was living with relatives who reside at the Crystarium. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself. We can do that. I see. Reckon we should also find someone to look after Taynor as well. I keep clicking when I don't mean to, but I held off. Don't get me wrong, friend. I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly sin-eater still on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, he's far more likely to end up dead, or worse than to ever reunite with his family. Okay, that's fucking... Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch over Taynor for the time being, get back on the hunt, gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. Is there not more we can do? Or very well, we must blah blah. I too wish there was more we could do for the lad, but think of it this way. If we don't do something about that damned sin-eater, who knows how many other poor children will end up like Taynor. Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision. I intend to take responsibility for it. Just bring them both to the Crystarium. There are people there we've made allies with. Somebody will help us and help them. Where did you go? Over here. Uh-oh. The forlorn boy's here, but no Taynor. Bad news, friend. It seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts, and Taynor's up and run away. It seems the lad mentioned how he'd come out from one of the hollows. The other boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater. Then I said, my dad was attacked by a sin eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turn into a sin eater too? Taynor's face went all white. He kept saying, what do you mean? What do you mean? Over and over and over again. I couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him, shut up! Just shut up! I bet you're turning into a sin eater already. Why? Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody could blame either one of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we must hurry and find Taynor before he comes to harm. Let's split up. I'll search to the west, and you take the east. And be careful out there. It's okay, bud. I don't think Taynor knows about that. I think Taynor might have come from a time before. But we'll find out. Taynor is surrounded by scorpion sin eaters. Bad idea to go running off on your own there, kiddo. And again, you also might not know that. Dispatched of. Aiding. Cutscene. He's still shaking in fear. He's back with us, though. He looks around. Sees Cerigg running up as well. When I heard the clamor of battle, I feared the worst, but I see that you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Forgive me. I don't deserve this kindness. What are you talking about, dude? What'd you do? I was just so scared. I was worried about what would become of me if I never recovered my memories. And then I started thinking, what if I ended up like that boy's father? What if it's already happening to me? That's one matter you needn't worry yourself with. The carer who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You're in no more danger of turning into a sin eater than Mercy or me. Well, apparently I'm in a little bit of danger from it, but is that so? That's good to hear. But I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what happened to his father. Funny thing that. He was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad, and you've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings. There is still so much I do not understand about this world. Why does no one here know of me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something. Anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. Are we gonna have a headache? Yay! White flashback headache. Dark screen. There's a boy next to Taynor holding his hand out, summoning a portal. A void much similar to the one the Black Mage does. The Mage Headmaster. Now it's your turn, Taynor, and do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure. Your command of magic is the equal of my own. If I can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus, says the bright boy, who seems to be his friend. Thank you, Nilebert. I shall try my best. I believe Nilebert is the name of the Black Mage. Or was. Taynor holds his hand out. Seems to be summoning the void. Told you. Well, yeah, from the past. But I think the Sin Eaters did exist back then. Wicked White, are you alright, Mercy? Taynor's looking at his hand. I remember now. I was standing here on these blighted plains, my head hung low in shame. Then Albert turned to me with a smile and heartening words. So has Nalbert been trying to get Taynor back the whole time? Nalbert? Why does the name sound so familiar? I reckon we've much to discuss, but not in this godforsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can't get to the bottom of this. Let's get to the bottom of this. Skibidi boop. Be doop. Just roll. The forlorn boy and Taynor are together again. Taynor, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said those nasty things. Forgive me for acting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories, says Taynor. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you won't feel so scared and alone anymore. Taynor nods. I'm leaving to go to live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit? I mean, after you get your memories back and all, of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend. The forlorn boy waves and goes jogging off. I knew that you two would come work things out. Now, let us return to Mordsuk. We have more than our share of questions that need answering. Dragoon. Back to Mordsuk. As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden when you came to a portion of Taynor's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? You explain who we are, what happens to us, cutscene. The power to look into the past, eh? And future sometimes? I can't remember. And you're certain that what Mercy described matches up with your recollection of the past? Taynor nods. I don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Albert, that was with you that day, he's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phronesis, one of those God's damned warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. That it were just a coincidence, another boy with the same name, but no, judging from the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more, about Nilebert and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Nilebert and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious, and yet that would explain the Sin Eater's ability to summon those damned hollows. And if you possess the same knowledge and training as Nalbert did, it could also explain why you were able to survive in there all that time. But what I don't understand is, why haven't you aged at all? I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories, they're slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the hollows. You'd be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering, after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Mercy and I will see that you're safe. Cock your head at that for some reason, but we're here to help. I don't know why you... I thought Taynor was just a victim of the Sin Eater. To think he was actually friends with the man himself. Or back when he was still a man. This can't be a simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Phronesis. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sights. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he's figured matters out. I can't see all of my facial expressions because of this stupid mask, but we can't very well rush things. You and I will continue to prepare for the battle ahead, while waiting for the rest of Taynor's memories to come back to him. That is to say, if it's alright with you, lad. I'm so sorry. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you a short while, but I can tell you've a good heart and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears and uncertainty you face even now. But I want you to promise me this. No more apologies. You're no burden to us, not in the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Mercy? You nod. He found a little family. I see. Thank you, Cerigg. Thank you, Mercy. I will aid your quest in whatever way I can. Now that's more like it. We're counting on you, lad. Echoes of the Past is complete. Just make sure there's not like one more little end cutscene thingy here. Cool. Alright, the sponsor, non-sponsor for this video is BetterFoods Coconut Oil. I do not like the taste of coconut, but coconut oil is a fantastic, good fat additive to pretty much anything. I use it literally every day, every morning when I make my food for the day. If you purchase this brand, this particular thing with the link in my description, I'll get a small cut. I'll see you next time.